What's going on YouTube? It's Giga here, bringing you some more Series 10 Wi-Fi battles with live commentary. Trying to use as many restricted as possible. Today, we are using this really cool Rayquaza team built by 2018 World Champion Paul Ruiz. Given how difficult Rayquaza is to use overall, I kind of wanted to go to someone a little bit more reliable than myself to make a Rayquaza team. So let's talk a little bit about the team. First of all, obviously the star of the show is going to be this choice band Rayquaza. Rayquaza does hit very hard. It has access to a lot of really cool moves, and I think that its coverage is really going to help us out here, right? You have Dragon Ascent, Extreme Speed, Crunch, and Scale Shot. So you're hitting a lot of things for just a lot of big damage. The priority, obviously, with Extreme Speed is very nice. Dragon Ascent, there aren't a lot of very strong flying moves. So having that is going to be really huge. Crunch, obviously, for Calyrex, everything needs to have a Calyrex answer at this point, and Scale Shot. Next up, we do have, I'm going in order of the pace, by the way, so sorry if this is actually I'll just go in the order of the team. So we have a Choice Scarf Landorus, pretty standard. This is a timid one, mainly trying to hit with Earth Power, but you also do have U-Turn for pivots for Intimidate cycling, Brutal Swing, I'm guessing mainly for Calyrex, and finally Rock Tomb, just to kind of slow things down a little bit. We do have a Milotic, obviously to help deal with some of the Intimidate coming our way because we are a physical Rayquaza. We do have Scald, Ice Beam, Helping Hand, and Protect. So a way to get even bigger damage, also deal with some common threats like Incineroar and Landorus as well, and set up for our Rayquaza as much as possible. Next up, we have Amoonguss. Amoonguss is pretty standard. It puts things to sleep. It Rage Powders. It does have Giga Drain as an interesting way of recovery. Also a Koba Berry, so interesting tech. Most go with Akka, but I mean, everyone is a little bit different. Next up, Volcarona. Volcarona is great for dealing with opposing Zacian, being able to set up in its face, and Zacian can't do much to it. This is a more offensive variant of Volcarona. As you can see, it doesn't have, what is it called? It doesn't have Rage Powder. Obviously, the Rage Powder is already on Amoonguss. That lets us free up a slot for something like a Quiver Dance, then we can go for Fiery Dance. We also do have Giga Drain as a form of recovery. And finally, we have Aegislash. Aegislash is a really good answer for opposing Xerneas and can go for big iron heads onto it. It also does have Shadow Sneak for Calyrex. Wide Guard, obviously very good for all of the spread moves, and finally King Shield. So we do have the paste on screen, and with that, let's just get rocking and rolling and move into the first game. Alright, battle number one, and it is Groudon. So this is actually pretty nice, just in terms of the comedic aspect. It is Groudon, Entei with Landorus on their team, Porygon 2, a Toxapex, and Pincurchin. I almost said Pyukumuku. So what? Lando's very good. The top three for sure. The question then really is, what do I want for the fourth slot, right? Rayquaza, obviously canceling weather is great for Milotic, so it's not really threatened by too much. I like Milotic as a lead. I'm honestly very tempted for Milotic Landorus. I think it offers really the most options. Let's bring Rayquaza in the back. And then the big question is, what do I want for the fourth slot? I don't really have the best way of dealing with Toxapex right now. Volcarona, I kind of like Volcarona, but I also don't. Yeah, it's too scared of the Landorus. I'm going to bring Amoonguss, more just because I feel like I have to. If we can get a lead, I think if we can get them to lead like Porygon 2, no, what? If they lead Landorus, we're in great shape, right? Because that's a free Ice Beam into that slot. Nothing really wants to take it. And then we can go for something like a U-turn or a pivot out with Landorus, depending really on what they bring. So we are going to see Groudon Landorus. So this is awesome, right? We are going to immediately get that competitive boost onto our Milotic, which is going to do big damage. We can also pivot out against their Landorus, right, with U-turn to bring out our Rayquaza to get rid of the weather. And we do have a decent amount of defensive investment, so I'm assuming I can survive a Precipice Blades. We also, oh yeah, we get a Intimidate off our Landorus, so we can U-turn into theirs and go for a. Actually, what they? Yeah, nothing wants to take a Scald. We have a very safe Scald into here. as well as a U-turn onto their Landorus. Because I'm expecting either Assault Vest, or I just don't expect that Landorus to have Protect. And so what I'm hoping for is, okay, that's fine. We will get a U-turn off into their Landorus. That, like I said, lets me bring out Rayquaza. This could have been, I mean, I probably should have, in all honesty, targeted into their Landorus, calling the Protect. But I don't think it's a big deal, right? We do get Rayquaza into airlock any of the weather effects, so there is no drought. Milotic isn't going to suffer the minus, as we do see a U-turn onto Milotic. Okay, because it's a crit. I was like, that's doing a little bit more damage than I would have liked. Let's see what comes in. Nothing really is going to like this position, right? We just threaten a lot of damage, as it is just Porygon 2. So, Groudon, what, has to switch out, most likely. It could stay in, but, like, are you really going to want to risk taking a Scald from Milotic, especially if you miss Precipice Blades? So, I'm fine for a Scald here. Dragon Ascent. Let's go for a Dragon Ascent on a Porygon 2. Right, that should overall be safe. Yep, we are going to see a swap from Groudon into probably their fourth. Into their fourth, which is Pincurchin. So Pincurchin also really not going to like a Scald, especially at +2. There is no weather to worry about. We will outspeed everything. Is that a special? That's a special defense boost, right? Oh, it's a defense boost. So that's really good for us. Dragon Ascent will connect. Even if you set up Trick Room. Wow, that was... Okay, it is banded, but like that was huge damage. Scald should pick up the KO onto Pincurchin. Sick, big threat gone. I'm gonna say that crit didn't matter because I don't really think it did. And so the question now, yeah, we are gonna see the Trick Room. They can't. Okay, so they cannot go for obviously an Eerie Impulse into Milotic. And what? They have Landorus left and Groudon. So what I can do is, what is my Milotic speed? I didn't actually look at this team before using it. Milotic has 121 speed. I don't actually... I think Groudon hits 112. So Groudon might be faster. I want to play it a little bit safe. I'm going to go for a Protect with Milotic and a... I could swap out into Amoonguss. No, I'm going to go into Landorus. I think the Intimidate is really valuable. I mean, I could have gone for Amoonguss. Amoonguss would have been fine, because then I could have Rage Powder Ice Beam, but it also has Precipice Blades. So this way I'm getting off... Yeah, wait. Rage Powder is pointless. I want to go for the attack drop more than anything. So we will get the Protect off. I'm assuming... Actually, wait. We're going to see a Tri-Attack, yep, into Milotic. Makes a lot of sense. As interesting, you're going straight for P-Blades. So we are just going to have that come out. I'm tempted to switch out into Rayquaza. How much HP does everything have? Yeah, because that's the question. Like, do I want to risk? I don't want to risk this double up. I'm going to swap into Rayquaza, and I'm going to actually Earth Power into Porygon 2, because I don't expect it to recover this turn. And so what I'm thinking is, right, we bring out Rayquaza, we eat the one hit from Porygon, barring some sort of status, and then what we can do is we can Extreme Speed to finish it off. Just kidding, my great plan. Thanks for that. Thanks for that a lot. Bulk Up. Okay, so that is interesting. I really dropped the ball this turn. My opponent made an incredible play. I'm going to go for this here. I'm going to bring out Amoonguss. I'm basically just trying to put their Groudon to sleep. And so what can happen is we can bring out Amoonguss here. Barring they don't have Ice Beam on Rayquaza, or on Porygon. We will see a Foul Play. Foul Play is fine. Not as... Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate. Oh, there's electric terrain. I was like, let's just put Groudon to sleep. We can't do that. So this is gonna be at +2. We can at least neutralize. That's still good damage, in all honesty. Oh wait, we have. Oh no, we have Giga Drain. I was like, let's just go for Grass Knot. Leftovers? Okay, so this is a bulky Groudon. We do have Giga Drain, like I said. There's one turn of Electric Terrain left. And one turn of Trick Room. I'm going to swap back into Landorus. Foul Play is fine. And I'm going to Giga Drain into Groudon. Right? Because, I mean, you could go for Protect. But now what I can do is I can scare you away and show that I have a way to hit you on the physical side. We do obviously need to deal with this Porygon 2 at some point, but I mean, we pressure with Rayquaza, and interesting, no Protect. They just decided to go straight for damage instead. We will see a Tri-Attack come out into Landorus, barring some sort of status, we should be fine. And Heat Crash, okay. Heat Crash into Amoonguss. Amoonguss holds on, which is even better for us, right? Because now, now you're forced pretty much to Protect because of the fact that we can just put stuff to sleep. Let's do that. That sounds way fun. Let's go for an Earth Power here in the event you don't Protect. Let's just, actually, no. I wanna pivot out. I would like to U-turn here as well as go for a Spore. That'll let us get out Milotic. Oh god, no Protect. No Protect is scary, but that's actually really, oh, I mean, it makes sense, right? We get out Milotic. We're probably going to see, interesting, you went for the P-Blades. Great read. Very great read. Foul Play into Milotic, that's really bad. That's bad, but we do have Rayquaza. We still have Banded Rayquaza and Scarf Landorus. So the question, oh, that was such a good play. That was a very, very good play on their part. Okay, let's think. They have Landorus in the back. I have to go for something that can hit Landorus. I want to Earth Power so badly in a Groudon, but I like can't. Groudon's like not in a good position though. I'm fine to Brutal Swing hits everything. I'm fine to go for a double up. I'm going to double up in a Porygon 2. It shouldn't carry Protect. We are going to see Groudon switch out, which is not ideal, for sure. Obviously, getting the Intimidate off onto Rayquaza is never fun. But if we eliminate Porygon 2 this turn, we make it so you can't keep... Oh, we're not. We're 100% not. We need a crit Dragon Ascent. Oh, so close. Please don't recover. Please misplay and foul play. Okay, that's potentially comebackable. Just kidding, Rayquaza is so low. We do have a U-turn here, as well as, yeah, but because of the fact that Dragon Ascent lowered my defense, Landorus will be able to pick up this knockout onto my Rayquaza, and then it is a 2v1 with a U-turning Landorus at -1 versus Groudon. So that Precipice Blades turn was super good for them because of the fact that it let them KO Milotic, and letting Milotic go down was just such a risk. Interesting. Okay, I was gonna say if they don't KO here, they did get a crit. I'm gonna say it didn't matter, but if they had not gotten, if we had survived, we would have actually KO'd Groudon. They still would have won, I think. No, because you would have had we would have had one more turn of damage onto you before you're able to do anything. So I think the outcome still would have been more or less the same, right? Like I'm guessing they could have just gone for Rock Tomb. Whereas now that yeah, they are gonna be able to take this one. So overall, I think it was a good game. I think that turn where they just went for the Precipice Blades was a really great read. And it just made a lot of sense. And the fact that they just like identified very correctly what to do, and I decided just to try and pivot out. So if I'd stayed in with Landorus, that would have actually been a much better position, because then I could have tried to do some other things with what I had left. But overall, I still think it was a really good first game. I think Rayquaza is obviously a little bit tricky to pilot, and that kind of is the outcome of it. But yeah, let's just keep rocking and rolling and move to the next one. All right, battle number 2, and it is Kyogre. It is an interesting one at that. It is Kyogre, Shedinja, Gothitelle, Dragapult, which I'm guessing is Scarfed. I mean, not Scarfed, Banded, Whimsicott, and Regieleki. So, what? Aegislash, I think, is really, really big here. Aegislash being able to hit Shedinja to have Wide Guard for Kyogre. Amoonguss also obviously very great here. I like Amoonguss. I like Aegislash as a read. Let's bring Rayquaza. Okay, so we have multiple ways. We have 2 ways of hitting Shedinja. Landorus doesn't really do much. Milotic is tempting. Let's bring Milotic in the back, right? I think Milotic gives us the best chance. We do have Helping Hand. Aegislash Amoonguss, I think, feels fine. Let's go with this. I think that should be pretty fine overall. Luckily, we do have things like Ice Beam on the Amoonguss. Not Ice Beam on the Amoonguss. We have Ice Beam on the Milotic. I don't know why that's relevant. It's early. Gothitelle is fine. We have Aegislash with Shadow Sneak. You can't fake us out. We will see Kyogre Dragapult. So that should be fine. I potentially want to double protect. I'm going to double protect to Scout. I'm going to Wide Guard and go for a Spore. I know that you can protect after you Wide Guard, but Wide Guard after protect doesn't work. Great, we did call that right. I will take that any day. I'm very worried about Dragapult. Oh, Dragon Darts doesn't count as spread, and that always makes me sad. So let's put Dragapult to sleep. I think that's the bigger threat. I would like to, Spore into whatever is going to come in for Kyogre. I would like to do this. I'm going to assume Kyogre is going to swap. Let's do this. This is risky, just given the fact that, what is it called? Given the fact that we are going to change forms, but that's not going to matter. We will see a Shedinja. So Shedinja can go to sleep. That's fine with me. God, imagine if we had Shadow Sneaked into that slot. Guaranteed turn of sleep on Dragapult. Please be a 2-hit KO. I would be a very happy camper. Oh, heck yeah. So this is a great day for Aegislash. So Shedinja guaranteed to sleep here. We can, I would like to... I'm going to Spore into Shedinja and Shadow Sneak. No, I'm going to Spore into Dragapult and Shadow Sneak that slot. You're either giving up your Dragapult or you are... Okay, you're just giving up Dragapult. That's fine. We know that Shedinja has a guaranteed sleep turn, so you're not waking up right now. We neutralized a huge threat. We can pretty safely Okay, so there is a chance that Kyogre is scarfed, and so when they saw the King Shield, they were forced, or the Wide Guard, they were forced to switch out. We do see that. I'm expecting an Ice Beam. So what I would like to do is I'm going to bring out my Lodic here and go for a King Shield. So that way, if you hit into this slot, we can kind of scout and plan around what to do. We do... Ice Beam would actually be really scary. Ice Beam is actually terrifying in this spot. We will see no Protect. I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? We're assuming Kyogre is Scarfed. Probably an Ice Beam into my Lodic. Yep, we will see an Ice Beam into my Lodic. So we actually did have a really safe hit into their Shedinja this turn. I'm going to... What? I'm going to Scald Kyogre. I can at least try to get a burn. I'm going to go for a Shadow Sneak here. I could have gone for it last turn, because now we're playing a risky game. We are going to see a Kyogre swap out into a Lecky, so that's fine. A Lecky is going to potentially get burned. We do have to be wary, though, of... We really have to be wary of when this Shedinja... I mean, yeah, when Shedinja is going to wake up. I would love... God, imagine if it didn't have Focus Sash. I would be so happy. Scald going to come out into a Lecky. Should do a decent chunk. Okay, that was a decent chunk. I'll take it. Shedinja is fast asleep. We can... What? Double Protect. Double Protect to scout what Kyogre is going to do. We should be fine either way, right? If you commit into Ice Beam, the two things we have here will win that endgame. Oh, Shedinja's locked in here. I still want to double protect. No, I'm going to Scald into Kyogre and Shadow Sneak onto Shedinja. Because even if you ally switch, it at least gets Chip, and we can eliminate Water Spout damage. But you can't go for Water Spout because we have a Moongus. Ice Beam is not going to do very much into either of these. The main issue is going to be the fact that Aegislash is in Blade form right now, so it can potentially just like get wrecked. We do have special defense investment. Okay, so they are going to cancel. We did have we had max HP and a lot of special defense, so we probably were in a good spot. Overall, I think a really good battle. We unfortunately didn't get to use Rayquaza, but I mean, we got to use Aegislash, which isn't very common either, so really glad for that. Like I said, overall really good second battle, and let's just keep rocking and rolling and play one more. Alright, battle number 3, and it is Calyrex Shadow, and a really interesting one to boot. It's Regieleki, Tornadus, Blacephalon, Blacephalon with Mineshow, Calyrex Shadow, and Silvally. What is Landorus' speed? Landorus is 154, so we are going to outspeed... We will outspeed Calyrex. We have Aegislash. Aegislash... we can bring Landorus. Landorus lead with... Alright, last battle of the day, and it is a Lunala team. So it is Torkoal, Grimmsnarl with Silvally, Volcarona, a Gastrodon, and Lunala. So, what? Landorus I like a lot, right? Landorus being able to resist Torkoal's attacks, go for damage onto Volcarona. I think it's going to be great. So I want Lando for sure. Lando, I like my Lodic strictly for Torkoal. Actually, we have Rayquaza. So Rayquaza is a good answer into Torkoal. I like Rayquaza Landorus as a lead. What do I want in the back? Volcarona is tempting because it can set up. We want my Lodic, and the question is then what? Amoonguss is great for Gastrodon. Yeah, Amoonguss is good for Gastrodon, which is really nice because Gastrodon does cause a little bit of an issue. Volcarona also does have Giga Drain, so I'm going to actually lead with Rayquaza Volcarona. Oh, I lost internet. So, sorry about the lights. Hopefully that doesn't cause any issues. So let's see what they lead. We are going to see a lead of Silvally Lunala. So I don't actually know what Silvally does, which potential issue for sure. Lunala could be... I'm fine to just double... I'm going to just do this, mainly because I don't know what Silvally does. Crunch Banded is just going to hurt. We're going to see a parting shot, so that thing is scarfed. Okay, that's fun. Is it scarfed? Is it just fast? I literally don't know what this Pokemon can do. Let me pull it up, because, you know, a little bit important to know what you're up against. Survey says, when I Google it, Silvally, if I can spell its name right, we will see a Torkoal, so that's scary, maybe. Probably a Meteor Beam. We are going to see a Quiver Dance. If it's a Meteor Beam, actually, that's good for us. Is Meteor Beam good for us? Meteor Beam is good for us because you're not setting up Trick Room. We will get a Crunch off. It is going to do over half, which is really good with Shadow Shield and at -1. This is actually, yeah, this is good because of the fact that Meteor Beam means you're not setting up Trick Room. And so I think either spot is potentially fine. Let's see where it goes. It is going to go into, looks like Rayquaza. Oh, into Volcarona. That's fine because now we threaten a KO onto your Lunala with Crunch the subsequent turn. And we also can bring out Landorus for free. Silvally is max speed of 161. So I think it just outsped Rayquaza. But yeah, we're in a really safe spot, right? We have a guaranteed Crunch onto this Lunala, which we know will pick up the KO, especially now that Shadow Shield is broken. So we can hit this button. We can also just go for a big Earth Power here. They shouldn't have anything that can resist this. Torkoal is going to have reduced damage from the lack of sun. It also is not going to be hitting hard into really either of these slots. So overall, like a really comfortable spot for Rayquaza. Obviously the -1 is going to hurt a little bit, but shouldn't be too much of an issue. So let's see what they can really do. Like whatever they bring out is going to take damage. And we have the big advantage that we have speed right now, which they don't. And if they want to make a switch, like that's obviously going to be less than ideal. So you pretty much, you have to fodder something. Fodder or just like have it take a ton of damage. So that is going to, okay, so they're going to stay in, which I'm okay with. That's a KO onto Torkoal. And then this should be a KO onto Lunala. Pretty easily, right? Boom, we get that knockout. And so now what we can do is we can, switch in my Lodic for Rayquaza with the expectation that you want a parting shot. And then we do have something locked. We have Landorus locked in, but at the same time, like, they're down to their last two. We know one of them will at least get hit by ground type attacks. So we can just go for a really safe, like I said, swap into my Lodic, where if they hit into that, we get the competitive boost. If they don't, like, it's fine. We then can go for like Helping Hand as needed. So it is Silvally, and then I honestly forget what else they could even have in the back. It was like Grimmsnarl, maybe? Not really sure. Did they disconnect? They might have disconnected. Or they're timer stalling? Not really sure why it's taking so long right now. Okay, so we are going to see, yep, Silvally, as well as what is in the last spot. It is going to be Gastrodon. So Gastrodon's still a little bit tricky. I'm going to swap into my Lodic, and then I'm going to go for Earth Power onto Gastrodon. Gastrodon I actually care way more about, in theory. That might have been a misplay. Let's see. We do, like I said, have Helping Hand, so that's also really nice. But Gastrodon, obviously the big threat, you can just go for a big KO very easily onto any of my Pokemon. So we'll kind of see how that goes. It is tricky though because we know Silvally is faster than Rayquaza, but we get the switch in into Milotic. If they proc our competitive boost, that would be really good, especially because of the fact that Parting Shot, it's like 2 separate events. So we actually get Milotic to +3, which is awesome. But let's see how it plays out. So that happened. Well, that, you know, that happened. I think that's a very perfect way to end this video. Thanks again to Paul for the team. Rayquaza, very difficult to pilot, but we're trying to use all the restricteds. We will use this team tomorrow, or next time, so look forward to that. And yeah, until next time, I hope all of you are wonderful, and I'll see you then.